In this world, there is a great power that has never been controlled by religion. Since ancient times, it has been the largest secularized country on earth. Why can this country avoid being controlled by religion? Why can it stay away from the influence of religion? The country we are going to talk about today is China. Of course, China has always had religion, but in its 50-100-year history of civilization, it has been minimally influenced by religion. As a major country, it has never been controlled by any religion, which is very unique throughout human history. Why on earth did this situation occur? To answer this question, we need to first understand how religion originated. The earliest primitive religion of humanity emerged in the Paleolithic era, approximately 40,000 years ago. The reason why primitive religions emerged was mainly to explain things that went beyond the scope of human cognition. For example, why does it thunder and rain in the sky? Why do people get sick? Why do people die? How did this world come into being? Whether the world will be destroyed, and so on. Primitive religions use their own cognitive system to answer people's questions and provide spiritual sustenance for primitive humans. Witchcraft actually appeared earlier than religion. Anthropologists have found that witchcraft appeared 20,000 years earlier than religion, and there is a relationship of inheritance between the two. Witchcraft is the embryonic form of religion. Religion represents the common understanding of the world among people in a region. Among the major religions in the world today, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism all originated in the Middle East region. Why has the Middle East become a religious holy land? If we look through history, we will find that in places with frequent wars, religion usually appears densely. The reason is not difficult to understand. War causes people to be displaced and suffer greatly. Faced with an uncontrollable future, the lower-class people need religious comfort to heal their inner pain and hope for a better future. For the ruling class in ancient times, religion could help them unite their hearts, reach consensus, and maintain unity, courage, and combat effectiveness throughout long-term wars. Upon seeing this, some people may wonder, there were also many wars in ancient China. There were 24 major dynasties in Chinese history, and every dynastic change resulted in chaos and bloodshed. So why hasn't China produced a strong religion that can control the whole country? This is closely related to the unique development process of Chinese civilization, and we can find answers from 4 aspects. Firstly, in the history of Chinese civilization, the idea of atheism emerged early on. More than 2,300 years ago, China was in the spring and autumn period and the warring states period, and there were many outstanding thinkers who put forward many ideas that still affect every Chinese, including atheism. Confucius, a Confucian philosopher, said, "Without knowing life, how can one know death?" He guided people to pay more attention to the secular world and not to dwell on unknown ghosts and gods. Taoism studies all things in the universe. They deny that gods dominate everything and advocate the Tao follows nature principle, following the laws of nature, pursuing tranquility and non-action, and using softness to overcome hardness. Moism emphasizes non-destiny and encourages people to rely on their own efforts rather than relying on ghosts and gods. By our current standards, these are typical materialist viewpoints that have nothing to do with gods. It can be seen that as early as 2,300 years ago, China's top thinkers taught people not to rely on ghosts and gods, but to rely on themselves in everything. These sages laid the ideological foundation of atheism for China. Secondly, China entered the period of agricultural civilization very early on and established a long-term stable agricultural civilization country, which played a key role in China's departure from religious control. Farmers can harvest food and fill their stomachs through land reclamation and hard work. In the history of China, floods and droughts have only occurred occasionally. Therefore, the ancient Chinese people's desire to ask the gods for help was not very strong. If any farmer doesn't work hard and only knows how to pray for the blessings of the gods, he will definitely starve to death. The production cycle of agriculture is very long, requiring strong patience and sustained effort. China's 10,000-year-long farming civilization has honed the Chinese people's character, made them patient, calm, good at long-term planning, and knew everything to take precautions. In order to overcome harsh natural environments and promote agricultural production, China has had a tradition of building water conservancy projects since ancient times. Jinghua Canal, Lingzhou Canal, Dujianjian Irrigation Project Weir, Taishan Weir, etc. These water conservancy projects, built thousands of years ago, can still play a role today. This fully reflects the determination and perseverance of the Chinese people to rely on their own hands to transform nature. Looking at the whole human history, there are not many ethnic groups willing to do such time-consuming and laborious things that cannot see benefits in the short term, but the Chinese have done it. Because they know that no one can give these things, they can only create them themselves. Which religion can control the Chinese nation with this personality? Thirdly, China has long been in a state of great unity, which has suppressed the development of religion. Throughout China's long history, the vast majority of the time has been in a state of unity, with a stable situation and the basic ability of the people to solve their basic needs for food and clothing. In peace, the ideology of atheism is inherited and strengthened because the emperor does not want religious forces to threaten his ruling position. Once a religious power rises, the emperor will send troops to conquer and prevent future troubles. So, in ancient China, religious power had no opportunity to grow. Even during brief periods of war in Chinese history, religion lacked the soil for long-term development. Fourthly, China's unique geographical environment has hindered the infiltration of religious forces. China's geographical environment is very unique. China is located at the easternmost end of the Eurasian continent, with the vast Pacific Ocean to the east. The terrain to the west is relatively complex, with high-altitude snowy plateaus, vast and barren Gobi deserts and deserts, as well as large mountain ranges. To the north are temperate deserts and cold Siberia. To the south, there are not only towering mountains, but also subtropical and tropical forests. To the southwest lies the insurmountable Himalayas and the Hengduan Mountains. The relatively closed geographical environment of China not only effectively prevents foreign invasion and ensures the survival and safety of Chinese civilization, but also effectively blocks the introduction of religious ideas from other countries. From the above analysis, we can see that a country as large as China has not been controlled by a certain religion since ancient times. This is not only the result of the initiative of the Chinese people, but also the opportunity to create objective conditions. This is a very unique phenomenon in the entire history of human civilization. There has always been a saying that Chinese people do not believe in religion, that is, they lack faith. which is to confuse black and white and confuse the public. Objectively speaking, the vast majority of today's Chinese people do not believe in religion, but this does not mean that the Chinese people do not have spiritual beliefs. Is only religious belief called faith? This is very absurd. Do Chinese people have faith? Of course there is. Without faith, how could Chinese civilization have lasted for more than 5,000 years? What are the beliefs of the Chinese people? The Chinese people fear heaven and earth, fear their ancestors, fear nature, have the world in mind, be friendly with others, and attach importance to family and responsibility. The Chinese people have the courage and determination to transform the world, and dare to fight against all injustice to the end. This is the unique belief that China has formed over the course of more than 5,000 years of history. China, with a population of over 1.4 billion, has distanced itself from religion and become the world's largest secularized country, which is a very rare example for the entire human civilization. It has shown all mankind around the world that humans can still develop in this way, and that everyone can still live in this way. The practical experience of Chinese civilization is also a valuable asset belonging to all mankind. Welcome to subscribe and share my channel. I will continue to share more knowledge here. See you next time.